Hey everybody and happy Friday. Jeff Radcliffe here, CEO and founder of Post Launch with my good friend Cheryl Moss, the CEO and founder of Let's Join Paws. We wanted to come in and have a chat with you guys about what's going on in the wide world of online marketing. People who have joined us in the past remember that Cheryl's life mate and husband Russ came in a couple weeks ago and joined us on the program. We had such a good time that we wanted to bring her back. And Cheryl is an amazing, brilliant, smart person who has a huge heart for animals and really does a lot of fantastic things and works her butt off to help promote Let's Join Paws. Cheryl, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you breaking your normal routine and coming in on a Friday midday. Lots and lots of stuff going on, I'm sure, right?
There is a lot going on. Happy to be here.
Good. So to recap, the people who haven't had a chance to go on Let's Join Paws since our last discussion, I want you to please take a look. letsjoinpaws.com. I've got the site up right now. This is a really, really fantastic product. To sum up, I love to sort of sum this up, but in my opinion, one of the greatest opportunities built for people who have busy schedules, are deployed overseas, who maybe don't have time in their day to spend enough time with their own dogs. Let's Join Paws is a really, really fantastic tool that lets you connect with people in your neighborhood that actually have time to be able to be a loving caregiver to your pet. The really cool thing about it is it's not a dog sitting service, so you're not paying these people. It's really about making the connection over the love of a dog. It's about finding someone who shares your interest, who's in your region, who has time in their day, who can help you out. Because, we see, in fact, the Animal Foundation came in here just the other week, and they were, at any given time, they've got about 260 unwanted dogs in their shelter. They're doing their best to raise enough funding to become no-kill, but right now, they're destroying a fair amount of those animals if they can't get adopted out. And it's really pretty unfortunate. Let's Join Paws is a much better alternative than having to send your dog in for destruction or, giving it up, losing it. We all fall in love with animals the first time we meet them. We want to make sure that they have the best possible life and the best possible home. So Let's Join Paws is really, really a fantastic product and a fantastic tool. Let's ask, how many people in Las Vegas are onboarded right now?
We have over 100 sign-ups.
That's really great. So those are caregivers, those are dog owners. There's people in almost every single zip code in the valley that are available. Go on, check it out. It doesn't cost anything to go on, take a look, see what's happening. Let's Join Paws is a not-for-profit organization, so do not skip over that donate button at the top. We sure would appreciate your help in keeping the momentum going with Let's Join Paws. How long ago was Let's Join Paws founded now?
It's been about 2 years now.
Okay. And so, by all accounts, you are a tech entrepreneur. How do you like that?
Who would have known?
I know, right? I think it's really pretty cool because most of that, you have I think you're missing a beard and skinny jeans and drinking a PBR because most of these tech entrepreneurs are these, 20-something kids that come out and they say, oh, wow, look, here's a fancy new algorithm that's going to help me modify the way my AdWords are showing up on Facebook. And to most of us that live in the real world, that means absolutely nothing. And it's so fleeting because the technology changes. But Let's Join Paws is an atypical startup. And I really, really, I touched on this last time when Russ came in, but I really, really love the fact that it's something that touches real life. And your passion for this started. Do you want to tell the backstory?
I was watching an episode of The Dog Whisperer, and in this episode, a young family piles up into their car, drives a whole block, drops their dog off with a retired couple who watch the dog during the day. And both families are interviewed, and the retired couple feels like this dog is theirs. They share this dog. It was such a wonderful connection. I had a heart hit, and I knew then that this could help so many families as well as dogs.
Right. So one of the things to kind of resonate, this is a real life issue. The numbers that we see from the amount of dogs that don't have quality homes or the amount of dogs that end up in shelters are just staggering, right?
They're staggering. It's awful.
We're talking, hundreds of thousands of potential dogs annually that are just, they don't have homes. People aren't taking care of them. People aren't loving them. People aren't able to. And, the unfortunate reality is we all have lives at the same time. I'm sure, I don't know the statistic off the top of my head, but I would expect the majority of the people that are turning in a dog isn't because they're not in love with it. It's really because it's become a burden on their lives. Right?
They aren't able to give it the attention it needs to be that well-behaved
right.
pet, and it becomes unmanageable, and they have to seek that alternative.
So Cheryl envisioned the idea of Let's Join Paws to be able to be a resource, the alternative. The disruption, when we're talking about startups in the technology space, she needed to disrupt the industry of destroying animals that people just didn't have time for. And that's really one of the key components. And I always stress this. Every time I have the opportunity to talk to people about startups and talk to them about their new business, your passion has to come first. You have to find something you are passionate about. Trying to find a next little widget or a next little tool or next something that you're just trying to get out there and make $1 million. The money comes after the passion. The passion has to come first. So it's really awesome to be able to work with Cheryl and her husband and other members of her team that have been fantastic, and the passion resonates every single time we talk. So let's do a plug. Are you doing any speaking engagements in the next few weeks, few months?
We're going to be at Valley Health Systems
Okay.
in the middle of December.
Okay.
Got a couple things going on there.
Good. We'll link all those up in this video in the footer at the end so people can follow up and RSVP for those events and come out and meet Cheryl, meet Jenny, who's our lovely, lovely, beautiful mascot dog who's on the front of the page there. And there'll be plenty of events, but follow Let's Join Paws on social media. Sign up on the page to receive news, alerts, updates, everything happening. If you have a dog, even if you don't have a dog, it's free to tune in. It's free to be part of the movement. It's free, if you're not a total effing monster, come on, sign up, share, follow us on social media. Help us save lives of animals that can't necessarily help themselves. So, on that front, let's move to something a bit more lighthearted. Not that this isn't, this is a really positive movement, a positive thing, but in the world of pets, there was a video that went viral this week, which I thought was hilarious. Now, Let's Join Paws is dog focused right now, and this is probably why. I think everybody who has seen this got seen 14 million times this week. This is the cats versus cucumbers video. And if you guys haven't seen this,
Wow.
I don't know what it is that's so funny about watching cats freak out, but I personally have seen this video 30 times this week. It's just fantastic. So that's the end of it. A quick 45 seconds of cats being cats. Why do you suppose cats are so funny to watch freak out? Because we don't trust them? Because...
They're so dramatic.
Right? They're like teenage daughters. My daughters are 6 and 4, so they're not quite there. They're fairly dramatic, and one day they're going to watch this video and just hate me for it, but I'm going to go ahead and sneak up behind them and hide stuff that's going to terrify them, I think. That'll be great. I actually had a friend growing up. You'll get a kick out of this story. She was my age. We were born, I don't know, a day or two apart, but she was in a grade above me, and she had a little brother who was my little brother's age, and then they had a third child. And what the mom would do, she would go hide in their closet before they went to bed, like 35 minutes before they went to bed. Dad would put them to bed, lights would go down, the kids would start falling asleep, and the mom would jump out and scream and scare the kids half to death.
Poor things.
I know, right? They seem
You
to
were scarred for life.
Well, one of them lives in Montana now, so I'm guessing that, yeah. I had to escape to one point. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and keep drinking water throughout this thing because we talk a lot. Couple of good things going on with Let's Join Paws. I want to pull out some neat things that we've got going on. If you guys get a chance, go on to mascotbooks.com, search for Jenny the Magical Dog Next Door, and you'll see right here there is a fantastic book and toy combo. The dog, Jenny the Dog Puppet, and Jenny the Magical Dog Next Door. This is a book that Cheryl wrote. Cheryl, who's sitting right next to me. This Cheryl right here sat down and wrote a fantastic book. Do you want to give us a quick synopsis? There it is right there. Tell us about what happens.
Jenny is a fortunate dog in her neighborhood. She knows she's fortunate and she observes other dogs in her neighborhood who are vulnerable. And through wishes, she's able to make up magical matches and bring people together through the love of a dog.
Perfect. Here is here's a graphic for Jenny, the magical dog next door. I gotta say, so I've got 2 daughters, as I mentioned, 4 and 6. They love this book. They cannot get enough of it. In fact, they always want to talk about it. I think it would be really awesome if this book were to be available in schools for kids all over the place. So if anybody from the school district, from the purchasing department, give us a call. I'm sure we could work out a bulk rate to get this in the school. It really is a good story of love. It's a good positive experience with some fun included in it that it tells a fantastic story. But before you do that, go on Mascot Books and buy it. Here's the Mascot Books webpage. One more time. Mascot Books, Jenny the Magical Wonder Dog. The proceeds from this book are actually going to help fund the Let's Join Paws movement. So if you guys remember, Let's Join Paws is a not-for-profit group to help save the lives of animals that might otherwise be destroyed. So do something good this year. Even if you have to wait, if you need a named holiday to do it, Giving Tuesday is coming up. It's the day after Cyber Monday. When you rack out all your credit cards, take some time and come back to Let's Join Paws and click Donate Now. We'll put all the links in the bottom of this video at the end so that you can easily find everything that you need to find. Also, please be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and visit the site to sign up. So, in the wide world of internet marketing this week, let's jump off of Let's Join Paws for just a moment and Cats versus Cucumbers for just a moment. One of the things, I'm not sure if people have noticed this, we're seeing this with a lot of our clients, and at first people are like, whoa, what the heck's going on? People are seeing a lot of decrease in the number of people that are liking them, that are following them on Facebook. Are you guys noticing any of that?
A little bit. Mm-hmm.
So people are looking at this, why am I getting unlikes? Because you rarely go through and unlike something unless it's really put you off, and it's usually, your buddy's wife that's talking all the time, or, somebody from high school who's hammering down with unfriendly political or unfun messaging, so you typically unlike them. But once you've joined a brand, it's extremely untypical behavior for people to unlike a page. But we've noticed more and more with a lot of our clients in the web marketing space that they're just seeing lots and lots and lots of unlikes. So upon a little bit of review, a little research, it looks like Facebook is programmatically deliking pages from pages that might be fake, or the pages that don't have any activity, which looks negative at first, but it's actually kind of a positive, because you want to make sure that the people that are liking you and engaging with your brand are actual humans who are going to be part of the campaign. If you walk in and say, wow, look, I've got 100,000 people liking me on Facebook, when you might be a taco stand in downtown Las Vegas, it's extremely unlikely that that's realistic, and it's extremely unlikely that the messaging you're sending out is going to be effective. In fact, I get a lot of people who come through my door and they say, wow, look at this, I've got 20,000 likes on Facebook, but every time I do a post, 14 or 15 people engage with it. My first comment is, did you buy your likes? Did you buy your people? If anybody's ever seen Fiverr, you ever play with Fiverr?
I looked at it, yeah.
Fiverr is a fun tool that lets you find people all over the world that'll do stuff for $5. One of the things you can do is get someone to give your Facebook page 10,000 likes for $5.
I didn't know that.
Facebook likes. As I'm pulling this up here, we'll see what the offers are on Fiverr. Fiverr's a total waste of your afternoon, but if you, you can find for $5. I'll have caricatures drawn of myself. I'll have people write my company's name on their body. It's it gets fun. So 500 Facebook likes for $5, 515, 415, 200. You go through here and spend, $100 and probably have 10,000 people liking your website. Well, Facebook is shutting this down because they've come through and they've realized that a lot of these things exist. So I'm sorry, Facebook. I'm sorry, Fiverr fans, Fiverr vendors. It looks like this is going to go away from being effective pretty darn quickly. Let's see, what would be something hilarious that you would want for Let's Join Paws? A branding service online. I will brainstorm 5 business names. Oh, come on, Fiverr. We just want to browse, buddy. Tagline Pro. These guys are great. I'll create a business name with matching domains. Now I want to create 10 taglines. This is a really pretty cool, fun site. We can get people who, who'll do a digital billboard. There'll be people who put your company name in a wrap. There'll be people who will write your company name on their body and then streak naked through the streets of Chicago. It's all pretty fantastic if you need that level of stuff. So back off of Fiverr and back onto Facebook. This last week was the 8 terrorist attacks that happened in Paris, which was a pretty big deal in the world overall. But Facebook had a pretty cool tool that came out as a result of it that really got a lot of publicity. This had been around for a while, but what it was the ability to check in and say I'm safe. It was basically a safety tool because the phone lines got clogged in a state of civil unrest. People don't know if their family is healthy. They don't know if their friends are hurt. They don't know what's going on. So Facebook really kind of created this tool. Unfortunately, it got a lot of blowback because at the same time, there was one of the civil wars that's going on in Northern Africa, same type of thing happening, but people in that space weren't able to use this tool. And it was really, Facebook's pushback on it was, our penetration in that market is almost nil, so we haven't made it available to these individuals. But I thought it was a pretty cool tool. I had the opportunity a couple years ago to work on a project for an individual out of Los Angeles called the Omni Threat Awareness System. And he would go through and he was hoping to aggregate all these threat data streams. If there's an earthquake, if there's a hurricane, if there's a riot, if there's what triggered his idea was when the tsunami hit Japan and there was radioactive waste hitting Los Angeles in the ocean. So I thought it was really pretty cool, something that could just alert you. And maybe not even yourself. We live in Las Vegas, so threats of nature are almost non-existent. But if you have family that lives on a coast or family that lives in a tornado alley, you can actually tune in and say, hang on, there's a tornado coming. I better call my elderly mother or father and say, get in the basement. You're in a bad area right now. Right. It never really got off the ground, but I kind of really I'm a big fan of being able to stay connected through that front. Anyway, moving right along. Some of the stuff that we like to do on this program. You want to talk about something funny for a second, Cheryl?
Sure. Let's talk about something funny, Jeff.
There is I'm trying to think of something really super hilarious that happened to me this week that I'm comfortable sharing on the air right here. I had here, look at this. This is a fantastic photo. This is a good one that I was particularly proud of. Oh. I wore a tuxedo to a party.
Looking good, Jeff.
With my wife.
With your beautiful wife, yeah.
I know, right? We both got all done up. She'll be happy for the shout out. Right here on my eye is when 2 weeks ago I did a faceplant into the gravel at a different party. I feel like I'm way too old to be doing that type of stuff. But as soon as you start admitting that you're old, then you start feeling old, right? Cheryl runs 20 miles a day.
You get way beyond that after a while. You realize that old is really just the beginning. You got decades to go.
I know, decades of being old.
Yeah.
That's great. So that was sort of a fun, adventurous night. Memories that I will have a hard time remembering. Like we do on most of these episodes, I want to go ahead and rip apart somebody's website. This is one that came across my table just today. Hopefully we can start working with them because I feel strongly that there's a lot of things that we can do. And Cheryl's been through this exercise with me before. We did it through the first iteration of Let's Join Paws. And now we're on the second iteration, and we're currently working on the third iteration of
the third and final.
The third and final iteration of what the site's going to be before.
That's right.
Before the big exit, right? Before the big, the Series A that lets somebody like, I don't know who'd be great. Kaiser Permanente could come in and buy it. That would be good. Department of Defense, DARPA.
Where people could actually just start using it and we could make a big difference in our community, and that would be success.
That's great.
That's right.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
All right. So I'm going to jump into this website. And Cheryl's seen this before, so at the risk of being redundant, here we go. First things first. Remember our 4 key areas?
Who, what, where, and why?
Yes. Who we are, what we do, why do business with us, and how to do business with us. The 4 key...
3 out of 4, not bad.
You got them right. It all resonates. You got it. But the fact that it stuck with you, I'm really pretty proud of you.
Thank you.
So in looking at this website, san diegosurfschool.com, san diegosurfingschool.com, and it's pretty obvious what they do, right? They teach you how to surf. You know who they are, you know what they do. The big thing that's missing right out of the gate is, why should I do business with you? So a couple of things. Why do I even want to learn how to surf? Why do I want to learn to surf in San Diego? And why do I want to contact this company? The big whys are missing. Those are things that we look at. So I'm looking at this website, and it's not really doing, surfing is kind of a beautiful, sexy, everybody's underclothed, everybody's in great shape, tan, West Coast mentality, Hawaii mentality. This website, unfortunately, falls just a little bit flat. It's very corporate-y. It does not do a good job of selling the experience. And I want to jump back to this. We talked about this week. This is an emotionally connecting image. From a technical perspective, you look at this image, and this is a beautiful dog with its head cocked. This should be submitted for some award. I think this image just resonates so well. Conversely, why can't I have the same feeling when I'm landing on something about surfing? It doesn't look fun. There's a black and white picture of somebody who's a legendary surfer right up at the front. And then there's two little tiny images that, actually are not, they're overcast days. Everybody's in a wetsuit. You can't see if anybody's, they've got their hands up, and it really sort of fails in a big way to sell the experience. From a travel experience perspective, there's so many really great things we can do on a website these days. And I'm going to pull up one that I'm particularly fond of. And their director of sales is a buddy of mine, so he won't care if I sort of hammer on his stuff. I always give him a hard time about his social posts. But this is a website that takes you to the Grand Canyon by helicopter. Immediately, you're connected with this experience, right? How can you not see yourself in that space? How can you not see yourself wanting to be right here, right now? There's actually a video that plays that goes along with it. And before you know it, you were just in the session. You're there. The buy now is not even a decision, because you've been so incredibly sold on the experience. Now, these are just animated images that are going through the site. This really isn't anything difficult to pull in and put on a website. But imagine the same for surfing. If anybody's ever watched a surfing movie or a surfing documentary with the big waves crashing over people and the big, the opportunity to be out there, people tan, barely wearing any clothes, just sort of, sexy opportunity. It's a sexy sport, right? Surfing is. So I look at this site and I feel, wow, we have such a huge opportunity to sell the experience. One of the other things, the next thing that we looked at, and you probably remember me talking about this, is this right here, this phone number. We've got an 858, which is a toll-free phone number. And we don't like toll-free phone numbers on websites. Do you remember why? Because we don't know if they're in the United States or not.
Oh.
If I'm going to call this number, I don't know who I'm calling. I don't know who I'm giving my credit card number to. I don't know who I'm engaging with. It's really a matter of connecting on a personal level. We want to know if there's people behind the brand. I'm not just going to call this and some hackers from the Far East are going to go ahead and take all my data and my information. So I hope everybody's tuning in, because this is my one nugget of wisdom that you're getting in the show today. The toll-free numbers on your website got to go. Get local numbers. Nobody pays for long distance anymore. It doesn't matter. You're not going to have issues with people calling you. Certainly, the people that are booking surfing lessons are not the ones who are still running a landline and paying MCI wireless for 5 cents a minute in long distance. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, next thing's next. Let's jump back in, and we're going to keep ripping apart the San Diego Surf School.
Okay.
What else sort of sticks out to you? Do you see anything that pops out? So the why us is one of the things that I resonate. Why would I book this surfing school? There's actually a handful of surfing schools in San Diego, but there's no real why. I don't know why. Do you know why?
Not from this website.
So I'm going to scroll down. Oh, wow. Now, look, there's some more stuff. Private surf lessons. All these are down below the fold. Better pictures. You've already lost my attention from the top, but now I'm down here where there's some better pictures. Oh, now there's too much data. You've given me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 options of places to go. That's way too many, right?
Right.
There isn't even that many products on a single page of Amazon.com. This is the why. We have 45 5-star reviews on Yelp. That resonates. We have 118 5-star reviews on TripAdvisor. That resonates. Those are big, trustworthy sites that people believe in. In our space, in the Let's Join Paws space, where we have social connectivity, it's really a matter of people trusting and feeling trusted to the brand. So if they go through and they research, online reviews are incredibly important. But look at this. They've buried them way down here in the footer where you've potentially already left the site before you've gotten the time to come down and look into this. So that becomes really incredibly important. The other stuff is, I don't know what I'm looking for. All services, promotions, surf gift certificate, paddleboarding, surf photography schedule. They have so many different things on their site here that it really, you've heard me say this before, if you try to call attention to everything, you end up calling attention to nothing. Why can't we take the key products that are being offered, a Grand Canyon experience, and make it slap you right in the face? There's nothing I'm going to do except click on that button when I land on this website. Where else do we see this happen? What are you going to do? 3 things stick out. Sign up, donate, begin. Oh, extra zip code. Let's show you Paws is not currently serving areas where zip codes don't exist. Be sure to type in your zip codes correctly. 1 click, 2 click, 3 click, I'm in. I am a dog caregiver. Create a profile, I'm into the system. I'm off to the races. It's that simple. How long did that take? Were you timing it? Less than 5 seconds? I don't have to research. I don't have to do anything. Research is ancillary to the 4 common things. Who we are, what we do, why do business with us, and how to do business with us. They do have their how. Not bad. Here's a phone number. Again, it's a toll-free phone number. But down here, there's a live chat widget. No one's manning it. Nobody's tuned in to say, oh, yep, there's customers on this site. I just happen to research this site. It's 1,500 people a month coming to it. That means at any given time, there's probably at least 5 people on this website looking around, clicking around, doing different stuff. We should be engaging them, and we should be communicating with them on a regular basis. So it's really pretty simple. If I were to have the opportunity to work on this site, we're going to change this layout a bit. Who we are, what we do, why you should do business with us is the experience, and we're the best. We can hammer those through visually, and how to do business with us. Make it nice, clean, and clear. Where do we want to send you into? Group surf 90 minutes, 90-minute private lesson with an asterisk that says bestseller. It's just sort of a failure in presentation on every level. See what I'm saying?
I do.
Cool.
I do. I hope they call you because they could use your help.
Well, I sent them about 1,000-word email right before you walked in, so
Okay.
I hope they do too.
Okay.
Why am I bringing all this up? Why am I doing this? And why am I wanting Cheryl to be part of this? We've gone through this with the Let's Join Paws site in the same way. And we're still going through it. We're still looking at design iterations and opportunities to improve the overall customer experience through the site. It's tricky. It's a tricky process, right? Because
it is.
Form and function don't always go together. I mean, look at Amazon. Amazon is an ugly-ass site, right? There's nothing pretty when you go to Amazon. Even Facebook is an ugly site. But look at Apple. Apple is a beautiful website, and it does the same stuff. I mean, it sells stuff just like Amazon does, but they made it look pretty. So, do we care? Does form and function? Do they have to blend? I think one of the important things is that we can really bring traffic to any site, and we can bring people through an entry point into a site. But what is the emotional connectivity, right? Do people look at this and they feel good? Do they feel confident? Do they feel a personal connection to that space? We see this, a lot of this happens in the healthcare space where sites are moving from the traditional blues and greens of healthcare to colors like pink and lavender because they resonate better with a female who is most likely in charge of the family's medical decisions, right?
Right.
For your husband, does he make any medical decisions on his own?
No.
Unless it hurts, he takes a pill. Typical guys. I don't. I'm incapable. I'll be screwed up for a week if my back goes out or something goes crazy, and my wife will be like, "You just need to go to the doctor," and then I'll go and then I'll feel better. She knows what she's talking about. I think I have a gender handicap. I'm incapable of actually listening to reason. We all have to find out the hard way. So Cheryl, I want to ask you a couple more questions about Let's Join Paws. In this space, so we're going to move off of San Diego Surf School. Call us, we can help you. Going back to Let's Join Paws. talk to me about your experience with a tech startup. What were, if you had to pull out the 3 hardest things for you coming from a more traditional industry, being in the banking space, moving into a tech startup, what were some of the hardest things that you had to encounter and deal with and learn and just do?
You have to accept the fact that it's not going to happen on any timeline that you imagine, and that you don't know what you don't know, and you have to learn. And when we first started, pretty much we would hire a various consultant or an expert, and they knew more about it than we did, so we went with what they said. Everybody that we've hired has done a good job within their little area, but you find that that's a box that they fill, but you need a circle. So finding the right partners and finding something that, while it resonates with you because you're so invested in it, that doesn't mean that the observer sees it the same way you do. So you really need to stand by your own convictions, but at the same time you need to be willing to listen to other opinions, because that's your public. So I have been working at this for some time now, and I have actually embraced the idea that I don't know this stuff, but I need to learn. I'm not going to become the expert. I'm not going to be the one that's actually doing the work, but I need to be able to have an intelligent conversation with the various people that I'm working with, so that we all understand that because people think they know what you want, but if you haven't communicated what you want, right, you're speaking 2 different languages.
How do you, if you were going to give advice to an entrepreneur, a tech entrepreneur who had an idea for something, what would be, what other than, your timelines are goals and not often realistic. It's going to take a team. From a metaphysical, keeping yourself calm, keeping yourself centered, keeping yourself, clear-headed and focused on the vision. Obviously, there's frustrations starting any business. How do you find the strength to keep going every single day?
The reason why I'm doing it is to help animals and to help people, and that why never goes away. And as I try and figure out the way to get my message out, the reason I'm doing it is solid, and that's kept me going.
That's really great. That's part of the passion coming first, right?
Right, exactly.
So running through where Let's Join Paws was the first time we met, which I was just looking at the data. It's been about a year.
Yes.
That we've been working together on Let's Join Paws now. It's come a long way, and I don't know. Did you see the last couple iterations of your site?
I haven't.
Would you like to?
Sure.
Would you like to take a trip down memory lane? This is a cool tool. I don't know if you ever played with this thing. This is called archive.org, and it stores for free historical website
Is
snapshots.
that right? Oh,
yeah.
My goodness.
This is, and it goes back, and we can go all the way back to 2012, where we had, looks like the first one was published in June 2012. Ready?
Okay.
It's pulling up, hopefully. Dog care, nutrition. Oh, it didn't save the style sheet. Let's go to the next one. June of 20. It's giving us a hard time now. Come on, watch it be broken.
Uh-oh.
We broke the Wayback Machine. Nerds all over the globe are crying themselves to sleep right this second. Sorry, nerds. All right, we're waiting for this to pull up. It might take a second.
There we go.
Remember the first
Yes, I do.
iteration? And we look at this, and then, we go back to our 4, who we are, what we do, why you should do business with us, and how to do business with us. Looking, the opportunity to have too much text. This wasn't even the first version, right? And, things in contrast. We talk about what people are going to notice first, how it works, versus sign up and sign in, which would be probably the most popular things. It's kind of nice, right? It's kind of nice to look back and see where it's gone, where it was, and where it's come to these days. It's miles and miles and miles ahead of where it ever was. And you got to be thrilled with the progress you've made so far. But well, time is going to tell where this is going to look in the next few months, next few years. This could be it could be, well, it will be. It's going to be a massive, massive, fantastic platform with thousands and thousands of people helping to save the lives of dogs.
Right. You have to be all in.
Right.
I'm determined that this will work.
Good.
I don't really spend any time thinking that it won't work. And if you don't feel that way, I wouldn't go down this road.
If you what would you consider the big success? When do you have a success measure in line?
When we go to the various trade shows and we talk to people
Mm-hmm.
and tell them that we're a service, people light up. They're
Right.
like they hadn't thought of that such a product was available, such a service was available, but when they hear about it, they are excited about it because so many people could use this.
Right. And there's always new iterations that pop up, right? New ways that we couldn't, we never envisioned people using Let's Join Paws.
Right.
Like you want to share the conversation that was had the other day about the deployed?
Oh, so we've been considering our military. These individuals go off and to protect our country, and their dogs are left behind. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we could have a caregiver that would watch their dog while they were away? And even with today's technology, they could be FaceTiming one another, and while it may be for a long period of time, I think it's the highest calling.
Right.
You're actually asking someone to be a patriot, to help
Right.
out a service person
Right.
while they're away, they know their dog is safe. Because so many of these service people, it's just heart-wrenching to have to say goodbye to your dog.
Right. So on that point, I'm going to put on my marketing hat for a moment. If anybody's tuning in that is connected to or a publisher of an on-base magazine, catalog, newscast, particularly on base, we would love the opportunity to come in and introduce Let's Join Paws. It's a fantastic opportunity. Again, you'd hate to see a dog go into a shelter because, again, somebody's off protecting our country and protecting our interests overseas or even domestically, and they just don't have a place to take the animal with them. Let's Join Paws is a fantastic opportunity, even for a close-knit community like an Army base or a Navy base or a military base. I'm probably forgetting branches of the armed service. A National Guard base, I'm sure there's a list.
Coast Guard, Marines.
Coast Guard, yeah. Anybody in the armed services who has connections to the military, to the information sources within the base, we would very much love the opportunity to just talk with you a little bit. See how we can introduce Let's Join Paws into the community there. So, costs associated with Let's Join Paws?
At this time, it's a free service as we work out the kinks. At some point, we are looking at a membership model, but that's not where we're at right now, so it's a free service.
So we want to encourage everyone to sign up. Let's Join Paws is in its public beta. By work out the kinks, we mean we want to get a lot of people signed up as quickly as possible. And there's some new future iterations coming out for Let's Join Paws, so it's a really good time to sign up. The site works well, the engagement works well. People are finding and connecting with dog owners all over Las Vegas Valley, where we're particularly located right now, but this will be a national service, just in the next few months once our next iteration of the website is all buttoned up and launched. So, since you've become a tech entrepreneur, are you getting, are people coming to you for mentorship opportunities? What should I do? I love the fact that you've done this, and I asked this question knowing that I spend a lot of time with your husband, Russ, and we go out to lunches, we go out and have sales meetings, and we go out and interact with a lot of people. And when we say it to people, I see their eyes light up because it seems like everybody has an idea, and they look up to you as the one with enough guts to pull the trigger on it. Do you find you're having a lot of those conversations?
I do have a lot of friends who are appreciate the fact that I took my passion and did something with it. A lot of us have a good idea, but we sit on it, and so the opportunity to actually see if it can work is something that people can connect with. And I have to say that having written this book, which was really just to get the message out, right. People are amazed about that,
Good.
So it's been interesting.
And the next book is on its heels?
It is.
And can we have any teasers? Do we know what it's going to be called?
It's going to be called Jenny Saves Trixie and Titus.
Nice. I like that. That's cool. And outside date for publishing? Any thoughts right now?
I would say early spring.
Okay. When it comes back, when it is published, do you want to come back on the show?
I would love to.
And talk about it?
Yes.
Even do a reading? We can round up a bunch of kids if you want.
You got it.
Okay. And then I'll submit some dog jokes that you can maybe, here's some PG level dog jokes that you can.
Especially the PG ones.
I like it.
Yeah,
I can be maybe a contributor to your new book. Here's 5 dog jokes that you can play. My kids eat a lot of those yogurt, like frozen yogurt, the organic frozen yogurt sleeve things, and they always have jokes about cows. So now that my daughters are learning how to read, I have to hear cow jokes all the time. Like, where did a cow go on its date? To the movies.
Oh.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this stuff up. I hope everybody had a good time listening and meeting Cheryl from Let's Join Paws. Hopefully you'll come back a lot of times and be on.
Early and often.
Awesome. We are going to link up everything we talked about in the footer of this video. You'll be able to find it on YouTube under the post-launch channel. We're going to share it as well on the Let's Join Paws channel on YouTube. We're also going to link it up through social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc., etc. We'll be back next Friday again. If anybody's got any questions in the interim, visit either letsjoinpaws.com or postlaunch.co and have a fantastic weekend. Let's see if I can do this without... I always try to outro this in the worst possible way. It's fun, right?
Yeah, this music is great.
Like this one?
Yeah.
Want one?
This